due to the problems of the last video with the fuzz. I made some changes. Now my camera hates certain colors like white. So we went with blue. And I think that might fix the problem for this game. And apparently he didn't want any part of the butt whooping he was about to get because he was a player who is not using engine assistance in long-time control games. And that is always my biggest concern playing online against someone you do not know, is in long games. They have such an opportunity. Just have the phone open and go through. I mean, I'm wasting time with my phone waiting on a game, but they can go back and forth, and you're going to see a certain amount of time used on each move if that's going to be the case, and a strength level that is going to be ungodly strong for someone that is sub 2,000. But the top 100 list in classical, you have to make it to 2,200 to get on there. This is kind of the goal that I'm going for. Get that little trophy on the account page. We'll see if we can't get there. And in the meantime, maybe I can get some decent games. I need to work on thinking more, which is why I'm trying to play this if we can get a game today. I don't know. Is there... what's going on in the lobby? 20 plus 10. 25-0 will be a lot faster than 20 plus 10. 20 plus 10 will take forever. All right. And I'm going with a Sicilian. Oh joy. So I really sign up to play an Alapin every time I sit down to play chess. From a philosophical standpoint, an Alapin is not a bad opening, but why play e4 if you're going to play an Alapin? It cuts down on theory, I need to know. And it cuts down on winning chances. And it's boring. And I'm going to win this game the same way I've won countless others. I'll bet money right now. If the guy plays knight c3, you can essentially resign. Wait for it, because if he plays it, you'll see. I guarantee I already have a few other games on the channel just like it. So we hit the center. Bishop d3, bishop c4, knight c3 are the main moves that I face here. Bishop c4 is the main line. Bishop d3 is met by d takes e5, and lo and behold, we have an error that I've seen even from 2100 USCF rated players. This is garbage. It's garbage. Because as soon as I take, you're taking back with a pawn. Now I'm gaining a tempo, hitting the pawn, and you're already worse with white. And I don't have to do anything here. Knight d7, b6, bishop b7, and I'm just going to play against your weaknesses. As long as you don't mate me on the king side, I win in every endgame. It's just... That's it. That's it. So you can see why when I see an Alapin from a certain level player, I'm already ready to quit the game because I know it's already done. It's... Once you've played the exact same game like 40 times, you'll understand. Okay, so I actually need to think here. Should I take the pawn on c3? If it was a blitz game, I would just play knight d7 and be like, all right, fine. And sometimes a pause can be very helpful because my opponent didn't want any part of me taking on c3 and calculating it. So we'll find out according to the engine because I don't have to do the heavy lifting here. And this is probably the most satisfying game I'll play in classical because it's over quickly from an opening that I had no desire to beat for the umpteenth time. Alrighty. And nothing against my opponent, his opening selection, anything like that. I'm just sick of facing certain openings. You just get so tired of them. So, okay, bishop c4, bishop d3. The fact that knight c3 is played so often is sickening to me because it's just a terrible move. a3 makes a lot of sense because it prevents knight b4 ideas of bishop d3, but then black has time to go bishop d7, followed by bishop c6, and you have no bad bishop anymore. If bishop d3, I typically play d takes e5, and you can see how it scores ridiculously well. If they go d e5, knight b4, and if you're able to ever trade the queen or bishop, you're better with black. That's pretty straightforward stuff. So after taking, they typically go knight e5, and you have multiple moves here. Bishop b4 seems to be most popular, and knight d7. I'm not quite sure about taking there and just giving him the attack, but okay, I guess. I've definitely played knight c6 in this position. But as you can see, not a lot of games, and you're playing against an isolated pawn, which most people are typically comfortable with. And after the engine's thought for a minute, it says bishop b4 is completely equal. So then we get to the main line with bishop c4, and bishop e7 is typically what I like to play. And the idea is on queen e2, they normally like this. I'm just going to play for mate stuff. So this is where you go b6. Some people go, well, isn't this bad? No. No, it's not. You say bishop d3. Well, we can take first. And then one of the ideas is bishop a6. So you got to watch for that. But even here, knight d7, queen e4, f5. Even though you have the weird looking pawn, there's really no significant problems in the position. But knight b4 is definitely easier than that. So then we get what was played in the game, knight c3. And you can tell the engine, as soon as the move is played, it already likes black. That's why it's such a common error. And I've seen very strong players do it even. It just kills me inside that if you're going to play an opening, at least study it just enough to know that moves like that are structurally terrible. And why? Also, this knight needs to come to d2 and then e4 because you're going to have the strong point on e5, and it's a launching point for an attack one way or another. So if you trade off this knight, you're never going to have that attacking potential with the Alapin, if I can draw arrows. So that's another reason why that's just a garbage move. It's terrible. And here I was evaluating the position properly, that taking on c3 didn't seem like too much of a good idea because white is getting a lot of play. I was more worried about rook c1. And I don't necessarily like the knight there. I typically like the knight on d7, so I can castle, go rook e8, and then bring the knight to f8. With a knight on f8, you can rarely ever get in trouble from an attacking type system like this. So what about my move? I was more than likely going to go knight d7, where we get one of these situations. And I am comfortable with our chances here, where we'll be castling long and we get a dynamic position. So, engine says roughly equal, but again, once you've had these positions 200, 300, 400 times, you get pretty comfortable with them. So that'll do it for this one. And again, no disrespect at all to my opponents, because I'll have people in the comments occasionally get salty because I crap on their favorite opening or something. Understand, once you've played 100,000 games and when a certain rating category or skill level plays a certain way against you every time and loses, the story unfolds the same way. You don't have to think, and it's hard to stay motivated to play chess if you can't get creativity. It's also earlier I had a few videos ago a game against the London system, and it's the same kind of deal. London system, Alapin, 4 knights, exchange variations, they all fall in the same category of I don't really have enough time to study chess or commit to it, so I'm going to play these. And it works in certain situations, but in stream games and things, I get frustrated seeing them because I'm trying to create content which I have to work and think in and can explain ideas, and I don't have much to explain here. But in a tournament game, I'm very happy to see it because I already know what to do, and it's free points. So that'll do it for this one. Thanks for joining in.